So with this, you've probably been thinking as I've been talking, man, okay, so what do we start doing for AI in our own environment? You want to start brainstorming your ideas and quantify your ideas. And I'll show you a framework that I would suggest that you use. It's not something I used at the time. We created it since then, realizing there was a gap. Brainstorm your project, just whiteboard it, get with your team and say what's going to help us make more money, save money, reduce risk, what's going to drive efficiency. And then you just plot those out and say, great, for every one of those tasks, how much expertise does that task require and how often are we having to do it? And the thing you're looking for are the things that don't require specialized skills that somebody really has to be an expert in their field to do, but that you're doing over and over again. And you're going to get these quadrants and you're going to say, great, the things that require high volume but low specialized skills, those are your AI use cases. So you take that brainstorming list and you start to plot this out. So let's presume that you've already met those fundamentals. So now we're just going to focus in on the good use cases. So now which of those do you decide to take on as an initial initiative? Let's expand that out. We plot those out. We say, let's consider how expensive it is going to be to implement this and what's the business value. And we get 4 more quadrants. So now we've subdivided it. We're at 1/16 of our quadrant in the upper right. And now those 4 use cases, we can say, okay, these 1 or 2 use cases have the lowest cost to implement and potentially the highest business return on investment. That's where we want to focus in on. Just like any other business initiative, you're going to have to prioritize an AI initiative. It will not happen on its own. Even if your software vendors are incorporating AI features into the products and platforms that you use, somebody's still got to shepherd it if you want to drive adoption and measure what you're actually getting a result. You've got to make the same investment, have the process leader and the stakeholders, know what your outcomes are. How are you going to measure it? What are your prerequisites? How are you going to do training, testing, and validation? People will not just naturally pick it up with where you're at mentally. They're going to have to be led to it. And then what's the ongoing maintenance and refinement going to be? As you think through this, go back to those fundamental pillars and be thinking about how are you going to prepare and organize your data? Do you already have the information necessary for AI to be able to drive? And in my case, we used a large language model, natural language processing. There are other types of AI out there, ones that specialize on vision systems, recognition, pattern recognition, projection. In any case, you've got to look at the quality of information available or how the system's going to get the inputs to be able to give you a reasonable amount of outputs. Set that realistic goal, create a plan to manage it, and have purposeful vendor selection.